I've got the whole agenda here.
Where's the button?
What? What? Welcome, everybody, to Thursday at 5:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what time it is. It is Clickbait Sports time. Yes. I'm your host, 5 Points Vids, with who's this man right here to my
I'm back, guys.
And I saw the greatest football game ever.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, it was.
to my other side. I've got a punishment today, Jeff Dahmer.
Yep. I one thing I really enjoy, the one
You're
thing
Milwaukee accent.
about drinking a human blood, you have to dilute it with some
Demonetized.
water, or else it's just gonna be just too sugary, too sappy. I'm trying to watch my figure.
Sugary? Are you just drinking from diabetics?
Yeah.
Sometimes it depends. I mean, the health situation in Milwaukee's inner city hasn't really gone too well. So, you know,
My blood sugar's low.
Yes. Down below, returning to the show, Scooter
Scooter's back,
Magruder. What's up? Second time he's quit in the
I
last
was
month.
out last week. I got a gig with Aflac. They sent me to the Texas State Fair, their booth. Got to go to the Texas OU game. Also a great game to be at. Brandon Perna, similar vibes.
Cool.
The Red
Glad
Rebel.
to be back.
Scoring then, huh?
Glad to be back.
What was the weirdest food you had at the Texas State Fair? Anything
Well, the thing is, I've
fried?
been before to the
Okay.
Texas State
Oh
Fair.
yeah, that's right.
So you kind of just, if you're not going all out, you got, this time I kept it simple, right? Just Fletcher's corn dog, right? In and out, not too over the top this time. No fried Oreos, no turkey legs at this one. Maybe
no
next
fried
time.
butter.
Also,
Who fries butter?
the Dallas Arboretum. Go if you've never been. I'm just saying. I'm a member.
Alright.
That fried armadillo?
Yeah. And then Tom Grassi.
What's up?
How you doing, Tom?
Good.
Ooh, we
Great.
already-
Wonderful. It's the
Tom.
calm before the storm. It is
Tom,
the
like the
what's that
blood I
shirt?
drank.
Oh!
Whoa.
Hello
Graph.
game. Hello, game.
Graffonti roll.
Graph.
Yeah, no, it's
Ah,
Who-
you
who
son
got
of
that?
a bitch. Graph.
Yes. Oh, I've got a greasy punishment for Brandon Perna. Greasy.
No. I got a
Oh,
good
I
one
got
for
that.
Tom in case anybody knows.
I got a good one.
I would
Tom, what
avoid
happened?
grease. It
What
tends
happened
to,
last
not
weekend?
do well with the digestive system.
what happened
Hold
last
on.
weekend.
Yeah,
Before we
yeah.
get
What
in-
happened on Sunday?
Tom, what's that shirt?
Oh yeah, you like this?
Yeah.
So it's a cat.
Can
with
we
a
full screen
golden
this?
gun
Yeah.
on
Can
a
we
unicorn that's
ISO
blowing
com?
fire. So a few weeks ago, look at this. Look at that. This is the most epic shirt you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
So what happened was I was doing a Friday night Q&A, and Jack, one of my mods, said there's a brewery that has, like, we were talking about like can art and stuff because I think I was like drinking a beer, and they showed me the can art of this, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. And then I found a shirt, and I was like, yes, we need to do that. So I ordered this shirt, and I'm very happy with my purchase.
Nice.
I'm also very happy with your purchase.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love
It
it.
looks hot.
Where are
Okay.
we starting today?
First,
where did
I was trying to throw shade at Tom Grassi for what happened in London. And
Do we
wanna
London,
start with
across the
games?
pond.
do we want to
You have-
start with the games? Because we can
Well-
start with the games if you want.
Well, we need to first address the topic of the show so that people aren't wondering why they're here. I just wanted to throw shade at Tom because the
That's what happened
Giants
on Sunday.
beat the Packers. It was great. It was glorious. My night ended very terribly when the Mets lost, but
I enjoyed it
ESPN.
personally.
so let's just get into it. ESPN drops a complete chop job on Dan Snyder today. A tell-all with a bunch of unnamed sources basically saying that Dan Snyder referred to the NFL as a mafia, which is kind of insane. He said the quiet part out loud. I want to get y'all guys' thoughts on that.
Give him an awfully
Do
camera
you thi-
force.
Hey, you give him an enough for the bariche.
Gonna wake up with the fishes.
He sleeps. Luca
I'm
Brasi.
the
gonna be a
Italian
whole
guy.
bed in the bed.
Like if the NFL is a mafia, like
Oh,
which
sleep is
mafia, like we need to match up which owners are which characters in known mafia movies. That's what we need to do. I feel like Jerry Jones is
He's Corky Romano.
he's like Paulie from Goodfellas, just the guy that runs all the stuff and then kind of puppets everything from the back.
Can we all right, so does it have to be just from cinema?
Any
Well,
universe is
before
fine.
we start
Can we use the
with the
Breaking Bad
metaphors and
universe
similes
because the guy
Ooh,
who
yes.
taps the bell in
analogies,
the
before we
wheelchair?
get into all of that,
Yes,
can we just get your
Scooter,
reaction from the article? What did you guys think when you read this? What was going through your mind when you read through all of this? Were you surprised? Did you guys know this?
for me, reading it, I read every word except for the parts that I skimmed. And me reading it was like, wow, I really just started to hate Dan Snyder like even more. Like how petty he is. That I mean, all this is alleged, but him hiring private investigators to follow people around, his playbook of I'm not selling the team no matter what, and his sort of disillusion that comes off in the article, that was what I reacted to the most. And it's like, man, this guy is a real scumbag,
Yeah.
Tom, did you read the article?
I did. Honestly, like this caught me really off guard because everything I've ever heard about Dan Snyder is that he is just a stand-up human being and has never done anything wrong ever.
No.
So to hear that he may be engaged in some shady business really took me by surprise and really shook my worldview up. So I'm still trying to process it.
Can you do this as Wildflower?
Captain
I'm
Cherry.
so surprised.
But was
Why
there
would he
actually
do
anything
that?
there, Tom, that surprised you?
We'll
We'll hold on.
He'll come
BRB.
back.
Brandon
BRB,
or
Jeff
Tree?
Tree Dahmer.
What
I
did you
would
guys
say-
think of this article?
Go Tree.
I would say the most surprising part was that there wasn't a dead body lying in the creek. I know usually what I do is I usually take little pieces
Really
of the
stick it to
human
the
brain
character.
like this. And show my, it allows me to get
What
the
was
thoughts
the
and
punishment
feelings in the
for
mind.
this? Like what?
He's got to be Jeffrey Dahmer for the whole
Mhm.
show.
Yes.
I thought it was
I mean,
just dressed
I-
up like Jeffrey Dahmer and act normal, but he's really embracing the role.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
with
feel
Dan
like
Snyder,
Snyder's
all you have to
able
do is stash a few people in your fridge. I know that's probably the dirt he has on people. I completely
That was-
understand what
That
that's
was
about.
psycho.
And if Dan Snyder wants to kill a bitch, let him do it. Oh,
Wow.
I just realized Scooter's back.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
Happy
on
hunting.
screen. Like that's. I do like that you're
Yeah.
drinking blood. That's fun.
Yeah.
Halloween.
Diluted
Halloween.
blood.
diluted.
Yes.
You have to
Strawberry
have
lemonade.
too much super.
As
Too
I
you
much
gotta
were
hear
reading
what
through-
Brandon's thoughts are.
Yeah. What do you got, Brandon?
I think my first thought was, oh my God, everything we assumed about Dan Snyder is actually true. Oh my God, here comes Wildflower.
Looks like a guy should eat.
What is this? What's this guy got to say?
Yeah.
Oh, hey there. We talking about Steely Dan Snyder once again?
Yes,
Yeah.
we would like to know your thoughts on this article that just came out, Wildflower.
Oh, well, let me tell you about good old Steely Dan Snyder. Well, the article came out, and thankfully it wasn't behind a paywall, so I was able to read the entire thing. You see, my pigeons just brought me it word by word. Anyway, so I read all about it, and I heard about him hiring private investigators, also visiting other owners, basically saying, oh, baby, you can't bring me down, because if you cut out the tumor, it's going to kill the host. And so I think none of this is surprising whatsoever. However, I'm very curious to see at what point do we kick out Dan Snyder? Is there something he can do that is so egregious? Because we have fans falling on Jalen Hurts. You got the poo water. Can't forget the poo water multiple times. Of course, the field literally kills people. On top of that, you got the cheerleader incident. You got all the misconduct and everything. So at what point does Roger Goodell go, all right, well, I'll fall on this sword and potentially just say bye-bye to my job to oust Dan Snyder?
Well, that's
Also-
simple. Develop a taste for human meat.
That ain't vegan.
That's
But
good
the
blood.
other thing I want to say is I would like to see a jousting match between Dan Snyder and Jerry Jones. Whoever wins can keep their team.
I agree to that. I'm with that.
That's really
Is
good,
it?
Brian, by the way.
I think it'd be good.
Now before we continue, Brandon, did we ever get your thoughts before Wildflower came on? What
He
what
said
were
he
you going to
wasn't
say,
Oh, so
surprised.
sorry.
Brandon?
Oh, no. I think you captured all of our feelings and thoughts here quite poetically.
I
I'll
would
bring
say-
a jousting match only if I keep some body parts.
Let's all talk at the same time.
Yeah, we love it. I would say the thing about Dan Snyder is he used the exact same tactics to intimidate employees and the women making the allegations against the football team in terms of hiring private investigators to intimidate them. So to make the leap of him doing that for other NFL owners, not a surprise. What I really hope happens here, and I mean this, like, I really want all of the dirt to come out. I want multiple heads to fall. I want to see the greatest change to the NFL landscape we have ever seen. Like, if he has this really good dirt, he becomes a villain who is gonna have a little bit of a hero badge if he brings
Jose
down
Canseco.
other
Mhm.
shitty owners who have done. If they're as long as the dirt's on par with him, it will be the greatest crap storm we have ever witnessed in the
Mhm.
NFL, and that's what I'm currently rooting for.
Yeah,
Multiple
and-
heads to fall, like the French Revolution, right? That
Well,
was the guillotine.
What about what kind of dirt we talking? Like
I don't
topsoil?
know.
Is there manure in it? What are we looking at?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
I-
organic.
What are
There's
the
definitely
pH
manure.
levels?
I
Compost.
think he would get Epstein before that ever happened. You don't mess with the most powerful 30 powerful dudes. Like, no way that comes out. But I do. First, I want to hear Scooter.
30 powerful
Scooter,
dudes because we do not count Mark
Yes.
Davis.
yeah, Scooter did not get his at bat here for his thoughts. So go ahead and knock it out of the park, buddy.
Basically, this article confirms what a lot of us all were thinking already. Okay. I'm along with Brandon. Okay. Not only do I think Dan Snyder is going to fall, but I also think that outfit is amazing, Tree. Like that's a 10 out of 10 outfit. But no, I do think that I want to see the dirt. I want the dirt to come out because the reaction videos alone will sustain all of our channels
us.
for at least 3 to 5 more seasons.
Dan Snyder is over,
minimum.
party. Dan Snyder is over,
minimum.
party.
And
I like
that's-
stogie and eat some human flesh.
I want to sink his yacht.
But it's just so interesting because, like you said, Five, these are some powerful people. Like a lot of people consider the commissioner more powerful than some senators, like sitting senator, like literally.
Yeah,
It's
maybe.
power than
It's
him.
gonna be interesting to see how Goodell handles this situation because if this man does have some dirt, he's not gonna go so quietly. And I'm excited. I'm
Yeah,
excited to
yeah.
see how it plays out. He has lost Jerry Jones. I don't know how you do that.
Yeah. Jerry Jones
but
is
my
like,
gosh.
I'll get in bed with anybody. I don't care.
Personally,
Look at my daughter.
I hope he releases everything so the world burns alive. I'm always a fan of burning everything. And then
I think
stashing
the
their
best-
body parts in the fridge.
The best line from that article was them quoting Dan Snyder, where he says that the NFL is like a mafia, everybody hates each other. And then the source responding to that was like, no, we don't. Everybody just hates Dan.
No, we just hate you, buddy.
No,
Like
yeah,
it's not that's a megalomaniac quote if I've ever heard one. Someone that's just disillusional. Now, I want to ask the question. Let's speculate as to what kind of dirt before we do the casting of the mafia. Let's speculate to what kind of dirt does Dan Snyder have? Because
100%. infidelity. 100% he has some infidelity dirt on multiple owners. Stop playing.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
minimum. That's
Mhm.
minimum.
What
Yeah.
about that time we were on our yacht? And we
He's
flew
got
in
photos
all
of
those-
people
Yep.
with people
Mhm.
they should not be with. I know
Yep.
this, not as fact, but I'm claiming it as fact.
Yes.
He has pictures. What you guys got?
Robert Kraft is a fan of necrophilia. He killed a cheerleader in 1989. I know this because he told me this personally. Like, for example, have you ever seen the human brain when it's cooked? It's nice, textury, has a little bit of a rubbery substance. I enjoy that. I really enjoy it, and it is
He's
actually
killing it.
surprisingly delicious.
I'm just gonna demonetize this video. On
Yeah,
my
yeah. You just
own.
turn it off.
Yeah, it's-
Uncomfortable
yep.
subjects.
Mhm.
I feel like he's got dirt also on like unsavory business practices. Like, these guys get around the corner or get huddle up and just be like, "Hey man, I
Tampering?
found
You're
this
saying he has
tax
tampering
loophole,
dirt?
man. Like I just stole $5 million from this welfare. Look at Brett Favre. He's such an amateur. He got caught. I just robbed the entire state of Alaska." And they're just like, "Oh yeah." And that's on
Every
tape
NFL owner's
somewhere.
like, if what Brett Favre's been doing is illegal, we're all really guilty. We're all so guilty.
But we're not going to get caught because we'll
Yeah, we
bury
have much better
everybody.
lawyers.
Mhm. Wildflower, do you have any dirt speculation?
Well, that's the thing. Dan Snyder strikes me as a human being who's using chalky soil when he really shouldn't. He should be using organic potting soil, considering the climate and the temperament that's going on in DC. So I think, honestly, he's been using the wrong kind of dirt this entire time. But he's so cheap, I bet he doesn't even get the good dirt for the stadium.
It's
He
sand.
doesn't.
He
He
just gets
doesn't. Like,
sand.
That's it. In the poo water.
Sand in the poo water.
Sand in
Okay,
the poo water.
let's pivot
Yeah.
to the mafia quote, which was really funny that he said it's like a mafia. And we're going to place maybe let's just the owners of our individual teams as character, as any gangster, as any fictional gangster in the
Mafia
creative universe. Yes. So I will call on Brandon to place Walmart as a fictional gangster, though I think it's kind of easy to I know exactly where I'm going with this.
Give me
but-
your thought on it.
Oh, Gus Fring, right? Like a legal gangster that is just,
Oh, that's pretty good.
hiding in plain sight. Walmart has, probably got some bodies in a closet somewhere. They had to clear out some pygmies and burn down a village so that they could get Walmart on a different continent. I'm sure it's happened. So Gus Fring for me would be
Yeah.
whoever whichever Walton it is that owns the Denver Broncos.
See, I was gonna say he's actually the CIA. He is, he's the one owner who is so much more powerful than all the other owners that can just come in and single-handedly just stop Dan Snyder. Like his 72 billion dollars. Like he's playing with like Bloomberg and Zuckerberg. These NFL owners with 5 to 10 billion net worth. No.
Yeah,
It's like he's in a different. He's like outside of them. So I don't know if it's like good as CIA or he's like I don't know. He's like.
Do you think at the owners' meetings that all the other owners get together and make fun of Mark Davis? And they're just like, "There's that poor boy, Mark Davis.
Yeah.
His net worth is less than $1 billion. What a loser."
He's like Sauron coming in.
Tree. Who are the Roonies in the Mafia universe?
Stop punishing me.
I'd probably
We've got a
say
good one for Tom.
I would probably say Don Corleone. Like the old guys who've been there for a while, mostly respected, beloved. I would also argue Stephen Ross is Fredo because he is completely useless,
Yeah, that's a good one.
and he's going to get the kiss of death from Roger Goodell.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
in the middle of Lake Tahoe.
Scooter, who is Jerry Jones? I got to hear this one. Who
Hey.
is Jerry Jones?
I got the perfect analogy. the perfect metaphor and or simile. Jerry Jones is in the Mafia verse Stringer Bell from The Wire.
Wow.
Okay? And you know what he's
Wow.
going around telling people right now? He's going around telling people, put the word out. We're back up. We're back, baby. Because I'm just saying, things are rocking. Things are rolling. We were down for a little bit. And now we're back, baby. Watch The Wire.
Yes,
The
I
best
know,
drama
you gotta
of
know
all
Stringer Bell,
time.
but he eventually gets clipped. Tom, you don't have an owner, so pick somebody else.
Is there any
Yeah.
mafia movie where like somebody gets hit by a bus? Where are all the passengers in the bus?
I think that's called
Ooh.
Selma.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
Speed.
that sounds right.
Oh, yeah.
It-
All right.
we don't have an owner. We just got Mark Murphy, and he slays down a hill.
Can we stay
Okay.
on?
Oh, I gotta do mine though. I got the Giants.
Go on.
Gotta do that.
John Mara is Tony
John Mayer.
Soprano.
No, he's an
Okay.
informant. Everybody knows he's a snitch. He's a snitch.
He is a
He
rat.
is a snitch. He is a rat. You're
I
right.
want more
You're right.
taunting penalties.
He's Whitey Bulger. He's from The Departed. He's
Yes,
playing
there you
both
go.
sides. He's an informant. He's snitching on all his friends, and then he's going into hiding whenever they. I'm glad though the Giants are winning. He hadn't said a word, so
Yeah.
this has been good.
Before we get into the games, let's keep it on informants. Let's keep it on snitching, and let's go to Davante Adams,
No.
who has now
Never
been
heard of him.
criminally charged with misdemeanor assault for pushing this cameraman who got in his way as he was
No.
walking down the tunnel. Rapid reaction when you guys saw this. What were you thinking? Chat, join in as well. Brandon, what did you think when you saw this Davante Adams shove this man?
I thought it was not going to be a big deal. I thought it was going to be like a big deal on social media. I made a video about it. I think Adams is a good dude. I think the guy ran in front of him. He kind of just reacts, pushed him to the ground. I think we'll never really know the actual severity of the guy's injuries.
Yeah.
If they are very real, if he actually had a concussion, it says he might have a concussion, then yeah, I think it's fair to take legal action if you were really hurt there, but like I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to
Is he
say.
out
because
1
even
to
when
2
you look at all the
weeks?
footage, you don't
Some
see
people-
you don't see the man hit the ground. He's obscured. So
Some people are calling this move soft from this guy. They're saying you're soft. Do we think this was a soft move, Five? What are we thinking?
So I was very surprised that he was charged criminally. First of all, like the security is in charge. Like you're not supposed to be in the tunnel, even if you're a camera person. Like you cannot obstruct the play.
yeah.
They're
It was his
leaving the
first
field.
day on the job.
They're
literally.
amped up. Like I thought that the charges were levied so that he could sue Davante Adams later, and that this was just the setup for him to get his bag. If these charges go through, the most they'll give Davante Adams is community service, where he goes out and plays with a bunch of kids in Denver and signs a couple footballs and then has to settle out of court with this dumbass cameraman that got in the way. Now, look, Davante Adams did shove the guy, okay? But why was he there? Why was he in front of Davante Adams, a guy who's in a frenzied emotional state after his idiot coach cost him another game? He was like, man,
So
I
Five
came out
is
here and
saying, get out
signed.
of the way, cameraman. This man's emotional. You're lucky you didn't get
That-
pushed harder.
That is our culture. No one wants to be accountable for anything these
Tom,
days.
I'm sorry, Wildflower. When you saw this, were you emotionally okay seeing another human get pushed like that? What are the vibes?
Oh, baby, that's just another day in the DC. That's it. You walk out. Oh, there's a whole lot more going on than pushing. Listen, here's what I'm going to say about Davante Adams, which, by the way, this is the first time I ever heard of him before. Davante Adams, you know, not in a great headspace. He's got Josh McDaniels as his head coach.
That would
Hunter
make me
Renfro
wonder.
ran into his knee because that's where his helmet goes up to. And what happened? He got a little upset. And I know when the anger monkeys are on my back, I don't want no cameraman getting in front of me. Now, here's what I'm going to say. Just because I got an anger monkey on my back, does that mean that I should be throwing feces everywhere? No. So, what I'm going to say about Davante Adams, he shouldn't have pushed the guy down. However, I think 5 point is legitimate. You shouldn't also be there. You should be clearing it. However, I'm going to say that this is also kind of a societal problem because we live in a place where it's the land of litigation. And so you kind of are, here you go, get that money. And so you're going to go and get the money. So I think that nobody's in the right here, but it's just a terrible situation.
Is nobody in the right here, Tree, or is someone wrong? And if so, tell us. Who's
You're
wrong?
not-
Who's right?
The
So
only
you would
person
tweet
I
them.
feel is wrong is the cameraman because he is the type of person I would drug and take home with me at night.
Okay.
He's
That
like,
is
Tree
fair.
wants
Last
to know how he
question.
tastes.
Last question.
Yeah, honestly, he probably tastes like salt. because
Last
he
question
is
before we
super
move on. I actually tweeted this, and the tweet was, how much money would it take? Chat, join in. How much money would it take for you to drop this lawsuit, this claim against
the
Davante
charges?
Adams? I said 100K, 10 years season tickets. 100K,
I
10
want to
years
get
season
paid in seeds.
Okay, that's fair. How many seeds are we talking here?
Probably a bushel.
That's
I
fair.
mean, my mom, we were in a car accident and my mom got like 10 grand or something because, and this was in 1980. So
How
in
old are you?
yeah, I'm really old. No, this is like 1986. So if you just
We
make
played
that
football
like
back then?
20, 37, I'll take 75 grand. Just, I had pain and suffering. I might have missed work.
Emotional
I'm probably going to
distress.
get, unless if I get
games.
fired for being an idiot, like,
Oh, yeah,
for
he's
my
gonna
own
get fired.
stupidity. Yeah, I would say like 75K, maybe 80,
Brandon or Tree, what's the minimum you're taking to make this go away? Davante's people contact you. They say, look, we're very sorry. We want to make it right. What can we do? What are you saying to them?
I'll take a couple of his limbs and his liver.
It's fair. It's fair.
Your
An
liver
arm and a
will
leg.
regenerate.
Yeah, I'll take a leg. Like this guy ran into me once. I'm still gnawing on it. It's been about 3 weeks.
He's like jerky.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Exactly, Wallflower. Exactly.
Brandon? How much you take?
If I was actually hurt, I would just want my medical expenses paid. Like I
You're
wouldn't
such
have
a nice
filed.
guy.
I just don't think I would have filed charges. I don't
Mhm.
want any money. I'd
Yeah.
just
Wait a
don't
minute,
know.
Brandon, you don't want Chiefs season tickets?
good. I would rather
You could
spend the
sell
night
'em.
with the whole Jeff Tree over there.
Would you rather have
And
Nathaniel
one-
Hackett?
a season of Chiefs games.
Okay.
That sounds like a
Free
punishment.
organs, though, Brandon.
I'll
Free
Join
organs.
willingly
me now.
drug myself before I step into Jeff Tree's home before I enjoy that.
Don't be careful. I'll
if I
meet you
was
at a
a-
bar sometime. I have a nice little concoction. I call it blood mixed with benzodiazepine. You should try it sometime.
Ooh.
Sounds
I
better
love
than being
cocktails.
Can we
It's very
now
intoxicating.
transition to talk about what I have been waiting all week to talk about?
Oh, yes.
These
Oh.
NFL games that our teams
oh boy.
played this past weekend.
Oh,
I don't know.
Of course,
if
you
guys
want
know,
to talk about
the
Awesome.
Cowboys
Talk
won against the Super Bowl champions last year. I'm just saying.
Everybody's
with the
doing it nowadays. The
backup
Falcons almost
quarterback.
did.
With the
Yeah, well, the
backup
Rams are kind of trash. I mean,
all of a
they
sudden
do
the
not
Rams are
look
trash
good.
now. The Cowboys beat them. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But
Cooper Rush is no
Cowboys
longer a
won.
backup. He's a starter.
Yeah,
The
you got a
Packers-
quarterback controversy.
The Packers
Hmm.
lost to the Giants in London. The Steelers got absolutely dog walked.
He's a puppy.
And the Broncos were the Broncos. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's go first with this Giants-Packers game because I have been waiting for this. 5, what was your reaction to this game? Were you shocked, surprised? Do you think the Giants are a quality team and need to sign Daniel Jones? What's going on?
I was surprised. I mean, the Giants weren't supposed to win this game, but maybe Aaron Rodgers just ate too many tea and crumpets. Whatever was the problem, why they didn't run the ball. That was pretty curious. I'm just happy that the Giants won and that I got to call Tom Grossi immediately afterwards and gloat and just have a wonderful
Wildflower,
time
can you go get Tom for a second?
that.
We might need Tom for this segment right here. But
I will
continue
say this.
5. You were just happy to be able to
Oh
call
no,
Tom.
I'm just I thought that the Giants played a good game. The real test for the Giants is going to be this weekend if they can beat the Ravens. Like if they go out and beat the Ravens and they're 5-1, then you're thinking playoffs. If they lose and they're 4-2, then you kind of got to reset and think about how you get back into winning football. But the Giants, they're winning with a terrible roster. But also, you got to remember things. The Denver Broncos started 3-0 last year, okay? And even though that was a pretty false 3-0, the Giants, I mean, they are
also started 3-0.
We got the momentum now, but it was very pleasurable to call Tom Grossi and once again witness another win for the Giants over the Packers in a crucial kind of part of the season.
Before we get to Tom and Tom's reaction of this loss in London, one more question for you 5, because this was I saw this online. An NFL reporter said this: the Giants are winning too much right now. They need to lose because they're making themselves worse. If they're trying to get a QB in this draft, they go 8-8, 8-9.
I know exactly what clip you're talking about.
So yes, I know what you're talking about.
It's not like the Giants have had topics for 5 years.
The saddest thing about that was that none of us are hired by ESPN, and that person is, because that was literally the dumbest thing I have ever heard out of an ESPN commentator.
All you need to know is that girl worked for Yahoo and she worked for Washington.
That actually has a lot of merit. She's right. Y'all are about to go 8-9 and miss out on a potentially transgenerational talent.
Transgenerational talent? No, because you want to win, right? What if someone said this about the Bengals last year? It's like, oh, you guys are winning too much, and then they go all the way to the freaking Super Bowl. You just don't know. And until you lose and until you're in the position where you have to give up, if you're a fan, if you're a GM, if you're an executive, you will take, like the Giants won in 2012. They won a Super Bowl with a roster that everyone said was garbage, right? And they went out and won a Super Bowl. So you're going to take it as far as you can. That type of mentality, that's a loser's mentality.
So let me ask you this, and then we'll
But
get
I
to
also
Tom.
have to say, too, I'm sorry. So you're going to tell a guy like Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones, hey, guys, you're in a contract year. Don't play that hard. That's what I mean. We all understand the idea of tanking, but talk to any of those players who still want to be employed either on that team or to be a free agent next year and get paid some money while they're in the prime of their career. No one is going to tank.
The worst thing you can be in NFL or NBA, in any sport with a lottery, the worst thing you can be is average. And it looks like the way the Giants are going right now is that they are setting themselves up to be average. I get your point.
But it's about trajectory, though, right? Okay, yes, being average is bad if you were good and now you're average and you're declining. And say you have a quarterback that retired because he was old and decrepit and his corpse was literally out on the field and his name was Ben. His name rhymed with N. Roethlisberger. That is where being average hurts you. If you're on the up, if you're trying to build, average is good. It's like, all right, we got there. We only need a couple more pieces. We need these receivers who are trash to actually be out on the field.
You need Kadarius Toney to get traded out of that organization.
I wouldn't know if he was there or not.
But here's the issue too, is that we're talking about, oh, it's a home run if you get the first round, like if you get the first overall pick, which is not the case, right? Like you could draft a crappy QB in the top 5, in the top 10, in the top, you know what I mean? So
It's possible.
You're saying that maybe the odds are a bit better, but it's all a guessing game. You talk to any GM or scout or what have you, they give you the best information possible saying, I think this person is going to translate well to the NFL, but they could be wrong. We've seen it happen all the time. If we weren't, then every single first rounder would be amazing. So
that is true. But we have, when you look at the top 5 picks, though, generally the top 5 picks hit more than picks 15 through 20. Would we agree with that? Would we agree that top 5 picks hit more than 15 to 20? I think.
Yeah, but there's a lot of the one thing Uche said this on Twitter is like, haven't y'all heard about mid-round talent? Like a lot of the best players come from rounds 2 through 5. Like that's
Aaron
where
Jones,
you get
5th round player.
Right. You get a lot of talent if you know how to scout.
Let's keep this moving.
Giants have scouted well.
So Tom, when you saw this L in London, what was going through your mind? Could you believe this?
Yes.
Why could you believe this?
The issue is because the Packers haven't put together a 4-quarter game yet this season. I think they struggled mightily against the Patriots and almost lost to Bailey Zappi. On top of that, they beat the Buccaneers in a very, very close game, and they were missing a lot of their wide receivers. They got hosed by the Vikings in week 1. And I think the Giants, they had a strong defense and they have a good run game, which the run defense of the Packers is not good right now. And they just did not show up for the second half. So, no, I'm not terribly surprised. I was pissed. I was like really pissed about this game because I think the issue that you see is stuff that has happened in the past, but we had the talent to kind of get over those issues. Mm-hmm. And right now, like you have Green Bay, which is tearing itself apart going, well, is it a coaching issue? Is it a talent issue? Is it both? And I think that.
What do you think it is?
I think it's a mix of both, but I think it comes down to coaching because I talked about this a ton this week, but some of the answers are easy, right? I can't give you the answers for why this defense, which is supposed to be a top 15, top 10, top 5 defense, completely crapped the bed against, no offense, Daniel Jones.
Right. No, we're not offended. No, not at all.
So like that's the thing. Like you made Daniel Jones look like a much better quarterback. You've got no pressure on him. We're supposed to have a good pass rush, and that's incredibly infuriating. So like there's Joe Barry, the fact that we're lining up like 10 yards off the line of scrimmage from the guy, and the guy only needs 6 yards to get a first down. Like that's Mike Pettin stuff there. So that's one. Then 2, on top of that, you look at the offense and you have Aaron Jones, who's averaging, I think it was 4.8 yards per carry. And then you had Dylan, who was averaging over 5. And you just stopped giving them the ball. Instead, you threw 3 times in a row. And so this came out in the post game because they asked whose decision was that? Was that LaFleur or was that Rodgers audibling out of it? And it was LaFleur. LaFleur said, no, it was mine. And Rodgers said, I like the decisions. So like okay, exactly. Whether you're trying to cover or whatever, at the end of the day, it was a stupid decision because sometimes the easiest decision is the one that's just right in front of you when that's working. So as soon as the Giants tie that game, you need a long sustained drive, start running the football because it's working. So I don't even care if the Giants are stacking the box because guess what? If the run game was still, getting some yards and they just did like an 8-minute drive and you gave them the ball back in 46 seconds and put a defense on the field who was already struggling. So
and then the Giants did what they wanted to do, which was have a sustained drive whole way down, and then they won the game.
The game plan was super easy for the Giants. It was just like move down the field. I mean, hell, even look at like those 3rd and 4th downs at the very end. You have the defense of the Giants pointing out where the ball is going, and it gets batted down twice. Like hand it off to, why are we having 2 really good running backs if we're not handing off?
The question is then, where do the Packers go from here, Tom? We think there's going to be a turnaround? Is there something they can do to inject some vitality into this team?
Sure, because I think that with the offense, you expected a lot of growing pains, and I think you're seeing those growing pains now. I think there is a little bit. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has struggled to throw the football a couple times during the games the past few weeks, where he's just missed guys or what have you. His offensive line, they've struggled at times. So I think it's just kind of a mix of they just need to kind of come together. Joe Barry needs to get better at coaching. I think that's what it comes down to for the defensive coordinator. And they need to put it together. And they have 2 weeks to do it because they're playing the Jets, which is a winnable game. And they're playing the Commanders, which is a very winnable game. And then they're going to Sunday night to Buffalo. That's
if they
don't right the ship, they're going to get their ass.
Figure it out. This question is for the whole group. Do we think the London aspect of it had something to do with the final score? Do we think the fact that these teams had to travel internationally had to do something? And do we think Roger Goodell said London has enough room for 2 NFL teams?
4.
Do we think
he said
that
4 instead of division?
Do we think that's possible? 2
The
teams or
London
4 teams in a division? Is it
I-
happening?
I don't
NFL
think,
Europa?
This is the National Football League, the nation of the United States. Don't be getting that stuff.
Then why do they
Don't-
call NFL champions world champions? That's
Because
their
we are the best nation in the world.
I
That
do-
is a different thing.
I will say I do
Okay.
have a reasoning for Aaron
America.
Rodgers. I mean, him and I kind of share the same circles. We've eaten the same people once or twice. It's because everyone's vaccinated. It's really messing with his mojo.
Yeah, he
That
doesn't
does-
want.
Hey, I've noticed the same thing with
That
my
does
people.
make
I always
sense.
feel a little woozy with the mRNA stuff.
Brandon, will
Yes,
we
we got
see
a
a
dunk on
team
Brandon.
in London in our lifetime? Yes or no?
Yes.
Oh, in our lifetime in London,
In
Yeah.
London,
I think we will.
in
I
our
think they'll get
lifetime.
one.
Yep.
Yeah.
5, yes or no?
a lot of
Team
money
in
to be
London
made.
in our lifetime.
It's just it's logistically difficult. It's a 6-hour flight. It's not
Yes
fair.
or no? 5,
Now with those new
team in
fast
London.
planes, what are those fast ones?
The
How quickly can they
Concorde?
do it? Yeah.
Yes or no?
No,
We need a
I'm
vote.
good. I'm saying no, because I didn't want to go across the pond.
New fast
Tree,
plane.
yes or no? Will we see a team in London in our
I
lifetime?
think so because the NFL only cares about nothing but money.
But also at the same point, it's a 6-hour flight, but so is New York to California.
Ooh,
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but what about California to London? That's 10
Well, they're not
hours.
going to do that though.
Well, they
They'll
won't do
probably
those.
do a
Like, they literally
situation.
won't have those
They'll
games.
probably have a long bye week.
Tom,
before they
yes
do it.
or no for the team in London?
Yeah, 100%. They
I'm also
wanted
a
to do
yes.
it. I mean,
I
like,
think we get a team in London in less than 10 years, personally. I'll
You'll
say
get a
less
team in
than 10
London,
years.
team in Germany, probably team in France if need
Let's
be.
move
probably
on
team in
to
Mexico
another
City.
game. Since you're talking, Tree, let's move on to your game.
Yeah.
Mm.
The
Wow.
NFL just has to do a deal with
Yeah.
the supersonic planes.
Oh, wait. One last thing. Did you guys hear that cheer the Giants were saying? The London cheer? There's one thing Europeans have
Oh,
over
yeah.
Americans. They have some great cheers.
Shove
I don't
the
know if you
cheese
guys
into
heard
the
about
FEA. That one?
Yes.
Shove the cheese.
Yeah.
up your
Oh,
ass.
we
Shove
heard
the
it.
cheese.
I sang that in the shower after the game. I was just like,
Tree.
the cheese.
Well,
Who did the
five,
Steelers play
Five was also pretty
this
good
week?
at shoving certain types of cheese up his
Who did the
arse, but-
Steelers play this week, Tree? And what
Well,
happened?
they
Let
played
us
the
know.
Buffalo Bills and they got destroyed. Personally, I am putting out a bounty for a certain Matt Canada and Mike Tomlin and every single piece of the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. And I want a few of their body parts for myself so I can be reminded of the trauma they gave me. I mean, it was absolute just defecation all over the Steelers organization.
How did
You have the
Kenny
mo-
Pickett look, though? Did is
He
improving?
looked okay. He looked manageable. The main problem is that there was nothing going on. Mike Tomlin has been extremely passive. His big thing is always not living in his fears, yet you're down by multiple scores. You're still trying to kick field goals in the red zone. That's living in your fears. And you miss because there's wind issues. This should have been even uglier because the wind was rough and Josh Allen missed a few big passes in the first half. It should have been something like 45-48-7 or something like that. But at the same time, 1-7 is a very realistic possibility. And I'm going to go out of character here. Steelers are going to the Tank Bowl, and then I'm going to take the people in that tank and then stuff them in my freezers in the basement.
Were there any bright
Yeah,
spots?
you don't want to be mediocre.
any bright spots out of this game? At least you can look at this and say, well, we at least got this in this game.
Well, it ended. That is the most positive part of the situation.
Okay.
It ended.
True statement.
Speaking of ending,
Yeah.
the Raiders loss streak ended against the Denver Broncos.
No.
actually-
The Colts.
I'm sorry.
The Colts.
Colts.
Yeah.
That happened the week
The Colts.
prior.
Yeah.
We're done.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
No, you're right. The Broncos have been bad. How about that? Sorry.
Who did the Broncos play this week, Brandon?
I don't care.
They're playing the Chargers on Monday Night Football. It's a freaking.
Didn't
watch
you
them
get a
find something
first-hand
And
look
what
at
happened?
that game?
Weren't you
Yeah.
at this game?
Chef Ross is a really big fan of cooking human meat. That's why.
Yes,
he's
I was at the
so
Colts
bad.
game where I saw 0 touchdowns scored by either team for an
Oh my
entire.
gosh.
Oh my god!
That's
Honestly,
rough cooking
I
right
feel
there.
like it would be a good thing if you came over to my house.
Can
so
you
I could
just
eat you.
take us through the atmosphere at the game? Like, what was the vibe pregame, and then what was the vibe at halftime? Like, take us through the emotional
Fun and
experience you
funeral,
had.
huh?
Honestly, I think it was the least hostile crowd I've ever seen in my life. I think it was just usually, you're at a game, you got fans of the opposing team there, like in the Broncos, they pack the house pretty well. It doesn't get overrun by opposing fans, but there's always opposing fans there, and there's always some trash talk. There's always, whether one team's got a quarter where like they score a couple touchdowns, there's people in your section who just become unbearable. I saw two of the most defeated fan bases just like, oh, like what are we doing here? Like, I literally heard Colts fans after the game saying like, we won, but today everybody lost.
It's like,
Like-
two married people that are
So
just
for the
old and
people
they
who
just
don't
they're not
know,
going to divorce because
Yeah.
they just
There was
hate
not
each
a
other.
touchdown scored in this game.
No, all
So-
field goals, went into overtime, one on a field goal, a lot of great defense, a lot of sacks, a lot of picks.
Where
Yeah.
are you
Yeah.
with Russell Wilson?
He's
Yeah.
about to bounce back. He is going to get it.
Okay,
Give me-
because I'm seeing a lot of the fandom throw this man under the bus
Oh, yeah.
and
expeditiously.
back it up and back
We
it
have
up
those
and then hit
memes.
it
I don't know
again.
who's the guy looking at him like this. Just like,
Oh yeah, on the bench there.
Melvin Gordon.
Yes,
Just
Melvin Gordon
lost
was
the game
not
the week
happy.
before.
okay.
Mhm.
So,
So
we got a lot
where,
of people
so you
making
think he's going to turn
mistakes.
it around though?
All right, this is what's happening this week. we're getting Greg Dulcich. Okay, we got a 3rd round tight end nobody's ever heard of out of UCLA
I know.
coming into the lineup.
Okay.
Going to save the team. That's the first thing that's going to happen. Latavius
Okay.
Murray going to rush for 180 yards.
He's still in the
and
league.
3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he
Latavius
signed off the
Murray
practice-
is
practice
old,
squad.
but he does not have a lot of wear and tear.
Okay.
I'm channeling my inner Scooter optimism right now.
Let it flow. Let it flow.
Defense gets Justin Simmons back, so we lose. Who did we lose last week? Ron Darby, but we're getting Simmons back. They're going
How's
to be
Randy
good.
Gregory treating you guys? He's
Great till he got hurt again. He's on IR.
You know, the one positive thing was like your defense was killing the Colts
Oh, yeah.
until
Good.
everyone literally got hurt. Like one dude broke his wrist and then somebody else got hurt. Like the defense is solid, and that's masking Nathaniel Hackett's ineptness as a coach. Because-
I saw a stat today that said the Broncos have the worst red zone offense since like 1981 or something ridiculous.
If you need a volunteer for somebody to kill Nathaniel Hackett, I will gladly offer my services.
So
I don't think it's all his fault though. I think it's
Yeah.
just it's just like so many missed opportunities.
Honestly, I knew a guy that didn't know what he was doing when he was trying to cannibalize people. He lasted like 3 days.
Yeah.
It
It's-
was-
you got to know what
It's
you're doing.
the classic
You gotta know what you
when
need
it's-
to eat.
when it's not
Mhm.
one guy's fault, it's definitely somebody else's fault.
yeah.
So you're
That's
not
classic,
panicking
right?
yet, just yet. You're.
Oh, I
this
already,
is a lo-
I'm done panicking. Like I've
This is a
already
long
lived that
season.
stage.
He's in a catatonic state.
okay.
Yeah.
I just last question. Did you see Russell Wilson say Broncos country, let's ride under his breath in his last interview that he was
Of course
giving?
he did. He covers the Denver Broncos.
Okay, and
Everybody saw
What did you think of that? Is this
I think
getting
that's the,
old?
That's
saw
the
it,
thing
man.
that
Don't
drives
watch
people
football.
crazy. Like that's why people get annoyed with Russell Wilson because he doesn't know when to turn it off.
And
I
does
I
he need to
spent
turn it off?
20
That
minutes
is the question.
defending the guy. This
Does he
week.
need to turn it off? Yes or no, Brandon?
Sometimes he needs to turn it off. Like
I
he
think
said,
he needs to
everything
win
before
games.
that, he was like, they're like, what went wrong? He's like, plain and simple, like I got to play better. Like I'm not doing anything to help the team win right now. Said all of the good stuff. Just get out of there. Just get out of there, Russ. And then just had a little tap on the table. That's right. Like, oh,
Scooter.
no, don't do it. Because
Scooter.
everybody forgot about him taking all the blame like a good quarterback's supposed to do.
Is it his fault though, Brandon?
I have
Is
a
it all
question.
Russell's fault? Or
Oh, that game, yeah. He threw 2 horrible interceptions. Like, before that, the one thing we kept saying is like, well, he's being really safe with the football. So you take that away and things get bad real
any
fast.
buyer's remorse?
Not yet. No.
Okay.
We've got
Long
a little
season.
time. I got a little
Long
time.
season.
I got
Five?
I got
Certainly
a
gonna
little
ask me
time.
something?
Oh, Scooter, is your mic like not plugged in all the way? I'm hearing some.
Are you hearing some
interference.
reverb?
Is somebody? No, I'm hearing like a tone.
Can you guys hear me?
I don't
Anyone
know.
else
I don't
hearing
know
this?
if it's. Does anyone else hear that? The
No, I hear
static.
everything's fine.
Everything
Oh,
sounds
then maybe
really
it's
good
just
to
me.
me.
Here's your
Okay,
sandwich.
maybe it's-
It's called the Danger Witch.
Oh, the ASMR. is wild.
The Danger Witch is made of human people. I really enjoy it myself.
Danger
I
Witch.
know
All
that-
right,
I know
it's
that tastes
time.
myself.
We've
You
made
said
it
human
now.
tea, and I was
Hold
so
up.
concerned what
Hold
the next
on.
word was
Oh,
going to
you
You
be.
got
think
some-
we're gonna
oh.
go through everyone's game and not
Oh,
talk
okay.
about the Dallas
Okay.
Cowboys
I was
beating
hoping we
the
wouldn't.
Super Bowl
I was
champions
hoping
of
we wouldn't.
last
That's why I
year
was trying
LA
to
Rams?
segue.
All
That's
the
why I was trying to
pundits
segue.
out here, huh?
Mhm.
What's good now? Now
What's
all
good
of a
now?
sudden the Rams aren't good since the Cowboys beat. Okay,
Well, it's Jerry Jones's 80th birthday today,
See-
and I would say meat always tastes better with age.
Here's the thing, right, Scooter, and you can.
No,
They're the
here's the
berries,
thing.
sweeter
I
than
let
You can
all of you
expound
talk.
all you
Here's
want.
the thing. I let all of you talk. You guys are
Okay,
going to
yes,
listen
all right,
to this.
Okay, you can talk.
You guys are about to listen to this.
You do nothing.
Because I
but
heard
talk,
all
so
this
go ahead.
talk. No.
In Rush, we
Cooper
trust.
Rush
In Rush, we
and
trust.
is undefeated. And you know what's about to happen? The Philadelphia Eagles will be exposed this Sunday night. All right? It's happening. They haven't played anyone all
Whoa.
year, and they're about to go up against the best defense in the NFL. The best defense with the best defensive player.
They're playing the 49ers?
No, Nick Bosa's not even top 2. It's Micah Parsons, Aaron Donald. Then we can talk about Nick Bosa. But what I saw from this game, I did not see an offense that went out and was great. No, that's not what I saw at all. In fact, Cooper Rush had less than 100 yards throwing the ball. So everyone talking about Cooper Rush over Dak, y'all need to stand up and go sit down immediately. What I saw was a defense, one of the best defenses I have ever seen in my life. I actually tweeted this too.
Wow,
I
we've
was
gotten
like,
this
is this
far.
the best defense
is
you
the
guys
best-
have seen on
You're
the Cowboys?
saying it's better than the steel curtain? The 90s
Well, this is what I
defenses?
tweeted. I
wait,
tweeted,
you weren't alive back then. Sorry.
Is this the best defense you've seen on the Cowboys? And everyone under 30 said yes. So I'm just saying, I'm excited for this game against the Eagles. Defense came to play. There's no one in the NFC that frightens me as a Dallas Cowboy right now. Who would it be?
Wow.
Who would it be?
Wow.
Eagles.
And that's with us not having Dak. Talk about
Listen.
Scooter optimism. That's with us not having
This-
Tyron Smith. who's
I
coming back.
have an affinity with the purple people leaders.
This is what makes me sad, Scooter, because
What makes
I
you sad?
kind of agree with you. I think the Eagles have been dropping big turds and then turning around and sniffing it and saying, smell those roses. Like they are bought into their own BS. And I think because we cannot have nice things, the Cowboys are going to win on Sunday night and you are going to be insufferable
I
come
really will.
Monday.
I have
Because
so many people's tweets I need to respond
it
to
is
already.
there's gonna it's just we can't have nice things. It's one of those years, but this high will be as high as you get for the whole season because from then
That's-
on it's going to be disappointment.
That's not true at all.
Enjoy
because you
it
know what
while
happens?
it lasts.
You know what
You're going to get a
happens?
fluke divisional win over
After
the Eagles.
the Eagles, we play the Lions. And after the Lions, we play the Bears.
It's okay.
Wait a
So-
minute, Scooter, weren't you on here a few weeks ago saying how the Cowboys have such a difficult schedule?
No.
He's
The
realistic.
Eagles have
Must have been a different
the
person.
easiest schedule in the league. Like they just look at who the Eagles play right now. Pull up who the Eagles play, and
Well,
you'll see
They play the
hardest team-
Steelers, so that's an easy win for
The
them.
hardest
that's a
teams that
W.
the Eagles play are the Cowboys. The hardest team that the Cowboys play are the Bucks and the Rams. The Eagles literally do not play a single hard team. Period. The whole
Oh, so
year.
you're saying that the Packers aren't tough? Okay.
No, not this
Well,
year.
the Giants beat them. That's what I saw.
That's true.
Not this
The
year.
Eagles are
The
much better.
Packers-
No,
I'm looking
listen.
forward to playing the Packers this year.
I said I put up
Yeah,
a
baby.
poll on my chat. They said they wanted me to eat you, Scooter. So
That's fair.
be ready.
That's fair.
All right, we got to wrap this
I'm the
thing up. But
tastiest, though.
before, yeah, you do look.
Well,
tasty.
Brandon, you are also pretty tasty. I've had you before.
I'm a spicy. I am
Yeah.
a spicy.
You like those boneless.
He is
ones.
the danger witch. I know
That's
from
a peach
experience.
so bad.
Yeah. All right, let's preview the Thursday night game. Thank you, Scooter, for your
How about
soliloquy
no?
on the Cowboys.
Oh
That's
God, no! Don't
yeah.
watch it. Bad. I'll stream it.
Let's get some predictions. Just one prediction
Tom's
from
gotta
everybody.
pee.
Brandon,
So bad.
Brandon, go first.
I think the Bears win this one 36-33 in the most entertaining Thursday night game of the season. All of those points are field goals, by the way.
Yes. Somebody breaks the field goal record. As
Yeah.
well. Okay, Scooter.
It's going to be 15-12, all field goals, Chicago.
Okay. Jeff Tree.
I have Washington winning this 14-10, and the public is cheering because Dan Snyder is sacrificed at the 50-yard line. And I also take his hand as token of
A
my
handoff.
satisfaction.
50-yard line.
Yes.
Uh,
This is what I'm going to be doing to Dan Snyder later.
I do like how you brought props. You just got them out of your freezer. Tom, what happens
Yes,
tonight?
I did. I mean, I have plenty in my
24-14
freezer.
Bears.
24-14. I'm going 2-0 Commanders in the most unwatchable football game since last Thursday. It is going to be ugly. No, I think the Commanders will win. I can't give you a score because you know that the manipulators are firing up their manipulation. You know that Goodell, when they go to the replay booth, and then it's all like, whatever.
20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 4. This was why I want to invest in a catheter. I got to pee so bad. I can't even
yeah.
rap.
Okay, just go pee.
Well, if you need any organs harvested, I can definitely take you up
I
on that.
made $107.87
I'll eat your heart.
per Nalusis. Okay.
Just pee. Just go. Go pee in a bottle.
Don't worry, I'll eat his heart.
I got
It's always a good time.
$12.
72.
Oh,
No!
wow.
No, you didn't need to do that. It's
you're
over. I'm
muted.
already dead.
Tree, you're muted. What are you saying, Tree?
I am 213.40. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you
So
Uh,
the winner, Brandon.
tip it?
623.
Yes.
Whoa.
Thank God, I'm not
Okay.
punishing you.
My punishment idea. We got to wait for
600.
Tom to empty his bladder. My
What is the punishment idea? Let me
for
know.
Brandon was that for the next clickbait, all he can say is Broncos country, let's ride. Every sentence, every response, every answer to every question, you say, Brandon, how was your day? All he can say is Broncos country, let's ride for the entire
Dang,
show.
so
No
first it was a
insight,
week where he couldn't
no-
say it at all.
Yes. And now it's all he can say.
Tom, you won.
No, I did not. I did not. Because I
No,
literally.
somebody donated $9,000.
Like,
when
look
you
at
went
your
to the back.
literally. So you won, Tom.
Yeah, no. I still made $109.
Tom, I propose that Brandon's punishment is for next week. All he can see is Broncos country. Let's ride the entire show. Whenever he's asked a question, whenever he is, every response has to be Broncos country. Let's ride, no matter what.
If the Broncos win Monday night, that's going to be
Dude.
really hard.
Yes.
If they
Yes.
lose,
Mm-hmm. I think it's
that's
fair.
all I'm going to want.
I
to
think
say.
we maybe give him like a 10-minute break in the show.
I'm
but
in agreement.
Other than that,
He can
Oh
only. speak
man,
for
I
10
really
minutes.
want him to recreate the Danger Witch commercial so bad.
Oh,
that
I
one's
really want
Okay.
that.
Everyone make a poll on their
That
channel
one's
right now.
good.
Everyone make a poll on their channel right now. Broncos country or recreating the Danger Witch?
He has to buy one too. Like you got to have it.
How do you make a? Here we go. Broncos country. Guys, we're choosing Brandon's
Honestly, my
punishment.
mind was clear after that pee. I had to pee real bad. So.
Recreate The Danger Witch, by the way, is a great sub. And it's not
Spicy.
spicy.
Eat the Danger Witch and only say let's ride.
What should Brandon's punishment be? Ask
All
your
right.
community.
But what about this? What if we have a little best of both worlds? What about if Perna has to eat the Danger Witch during the episode, and
Okay.
his lines can only be the lines that Russell
From
says
the
in
commercial?
So he has to try and work that into a conversation every single time.
Or
I do have to
he
say,
can
human meat is
talk.
pretty spicy.
Or he can talk normal, but every sentence has to be ended with Broncos country, let's ride. So he has to be like, I think that the Broncos will win next week. Broncos country, let's ride. Instead of having to just say only Broncos country, let's ride. Or we just do it both. Or we just do
I
them
say
both.
both. Like
No, I'm not eating
600?
gas station.
I'm
That's
getting
substantial.
74% Danger Witch.
I was at 92% Danger Witch. So let's
I'm at
just
68% Danger Witch.
let's
Okay.
combine both.
It's
You can say all the lines from the Danger Witch commercial, and you must eat the Danger Witch for the duration of the show.
No. We got to agree. Is he recreating the Danger Witch commercial?
No.
Is he eating the Danger Witch?
He's
Or is
eating
he
the
saying...
Eating it
Danger
and then
Witch,
using the lines
and
from
he can
the
only
commercial.
say the lines from the Danger Witch commercial.
Okay.
So you have to eat the
All right.
Danger Witch, and you can only say lines from the Danger Witch commercial for the
All right.
duration.
So he's going to be like this one time. No,
I'm going to buy the Danger Witch tonight, and I'm going
It's
to let
good,
it sit
bro.
for a week.
It's
And then I'm gonna eat it.
because it might taste better by
Gonna
then.
ferment.
All right, we can.
All right.
We've made it an hour. We can.
Folks, what are you
head out.
doing? What are you coming out?
Oh yeah, what's coming out? I am
no.
doing a
Fine.
video on the NFL's cheating.
Everyone at once.
Yes.
I'm coming out with human remains from my bowels.
Yep.
Yeah.
NHL haters
Broncos
guy?
country, let's ride to the bathroom.
Don't be
And
too
NHL haters guide, yes.
I'm gonna
that's
say,
it.
Julie, don't be too concerned.
We got reactions. We got college football reactions. May or may not be starting the Madden series soon. I don't know. I don't have that much time right now. We'll see.
Got
Still need to
Broncos
eat Scooter.
podcast going up on That's Good Broncos.
right.
Dan Snyder coming tomorrow, probably.
Yep, nailed it. I'll be
We all good? Oh,
streaming tonight's game.
Brandon does know
Oh,
about eating
you
human
poor
flesh. The
bastard.
danger
I'll be
wish is
streaming
human.
tonight's game. Honestly, last
know
week
that
though
taste.
was so bad, but it was so much fun. It was.
It
so
was.
much
It was.
fun.
We all had a field day on Twitter. It was one of those things where it's so bad it's good, but yeah, the week before the Thursday game was just so bad. But last week was like watching The Room. It was really just. It's like, all right,
So
can we
see you
just
tonight, and then
and
maybe
the
a
ending was
reaction
appropriate.
afterwards.
All right, Broncos
All right.
country.